Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be installing a new under bonnet lining pad. As we can see, and as we all know, a lot of our aging fleet have the deteriorating glue under the factory insulation pad. So I've ordered a new one off eBay, and today I'll be videoing my process installing the new one on. I haven't actually done one of these before on a W124, but I noticed that there weren't really any installation videos already on YouTube. So today I'll be videoing my process. Should it help anyone in the future, tackle this job, I'll be perhaps giving any pointers and tips as I go. That way it will help you all in the future. Partly the reason that I wanted to do this kind of an installation is not only to avoid having to look at this gruesome old foam and old glue, but primarily I want to avoid the engine bay heat over time from damaging the paint and making the paint crack from the top, from the exterior of the bonnet. So it's not, apart from perhaps getting a little quieter, insulating the actual engine bay from the installation of the new pad, but also just to prevent the paint getting damaged, cracking, and peeling. So and some of the parts that I've ordered, of course the pad itself, and this was the part number that came for this pad. I've got the facelift model E280, and from original, these pads had a little silver what can I say, a heat-proof shielding area over the manifold. So I've opted for this one, not just the straight black one, but you can go with the version that you choose. Some of the items that I've bought to help actually complete the job are some plastic scrapers to help scrape off, gently removing the old foam and glue as much as possible, some contact adhesive glue, some paint brushes, and also some paint rollers to help stick down the new pad. You'll also need a drop sheet so you don't end up making a mess all over your engine bay from taking and removing off the old and crumbling foam and glue. Without further ado, let's get to it. I'll be just clearing everything off here, putting my drop sheet down over the engine bay, and then starting very slowly removing as much of the old glue and foam as possible. Let's get to it, guys. I've now gone and put a drop sheet over the engine bay, and we can start off with a plastic scraper to very gently start scratching and removing the old foam off. And I believe, it's working really well. That's awesome. Very satisfying. So check this out, guys. The foam's really well starting to fall down. So that's really good. I'll come and report back once I've done a little more. But I guess at this point we just need to take our time. This is some of the tedious part, removing the old glue and the old foam. Thanks, guys. So I just wanted to emulate what I've been doing with the plastic scrapers. So not really rocket science. You can just go through and scrape away the glue and the foam. Very satisfying. Thanks, guys. I've been working on this right hand side half, and there's a lot of the old glue and foam coming off, and so far with the technique of just using the plastic scraper, it's worked quite well. However, we can still see there's some residues left over. Now, it's not the end of the world. We don't really want to be working too hard, otherwise we're going to be at risk of scratching the paint and then at risk of rusting in the future. However, I did find there were some sections of like a silicone base, maybe like a Sikaflex or something. I don't know if that was the previous owner or if that was from factory. I'm trying to work out. It looks like perhaps it is from factory, but regardless, yours may not have that glue. But I just wanted to show you all the kind of before and after. Quite amazing. The difference. With all the glue. It's a little hard to come up on camera, but a lot of material has really dropped down. So really make sure you've got a drop sheet. Very good. It was quite a tedious task, and there is still little residues of the glue with some of the old foam left. However, I'm quite happy that most of it's gone. You may want to take your time in removing as much of the old residue as possible. However, I don't want to risk scratching the actual paint by working too hard and using too much elbow grease. So at this stage I'm happy to leave it here. I've gone ahead and test fitted the actual lining itself, and I've got the bottom tucked at the bottom ready to go. So at this stage now I'm going to start to get ready some of the glue and work, because I'm only a one-man show today. If you can get two people on this task, yourself and get a helper. However, on your own, like myself today, it will be a little fiddly, but is just tucking the bottom of this liner down inside the bottom of this little cowling area here. I'm not going to be actually putting any glue into these bottom sections here and here. I might just start off with just a little above at this point there. Very, very good. And I'll return once I get started getting the glue mixed, getting it ready, and I'll place the camera down here, so there'll be a bit of a record of how I proceed. Again, so this helps people in the future with you know, how I went. There'll probably be some areas that I'll be quite fiddly running back and forth on my own left to right, but I hope this video helps. So guys, I bought a gel version of this contact adhesive. I hadn't realized that it would be this thick. However, I think that it will actually work to my advantage, because I'll have more playing time. I can actually spread it exactly where I want it. So again, that was our plan, to go through and place some of our you know, adhesive along the upper edge here, and then start to bring the liner up. So I'm actually going to be using my plastic spatulas to spread out the adhesive. Ideally, I guess I probably would have preferred a water-based, or perhaps a what can I say, a very, you know, thin, less viscous material to work with, but I think I'm going to go ahead with this, because I think it'll probably give me a bit of a better bond. However, you know, we learn as we go, right? So this probably may not be the best result in the long run, but let's see. I think being a bit of a gel, I'll have more working time. The manufacturer here suggests that I've got 20 minutes you know, before adhesion starts, but it is on immediate contact. So I'll actually be using some on the actual material and on the bonnet as well. Very light layers, I don't want too much material, but let's get to it. I'll leave this to record, and again, as always, I hope this helps others in the future. Very, very good. Excellent. Just going to go my first lot as a test. Yeah, that's working really well, guys. That's awesome. Perfect. It's actually going to be really easy. This out like that. Some pressure. Back up. Like so. Good. Quick show. Get this to be exactly where we want it. here. I'm just using some pressure with this roller so that the material makes the glue really well. These layers in. Wow guys, that's already looking amazing. Let's just get this in an area that is visible. Beautiful. Wow. So I'll just reconvene guys with some of my afterthoughts. Perfect, I'll be right with you guys. Thanks everyone. I've brought the car out into the sun. Take you guys through some of my thoughts now that I've done this job. Hello yellow car in the back. Okay, so what I found guys was that initially I was planning to use some adhesive and actually use this roller to go through and roll the adhesive onto the bonnet and then marry the liner together. And I'd also planned to use some like a brush here, grab some of that adhesive and actually paint the outskirts of the bonnet itself where perhaps the roller wouldn't be able to reach. But unfortunately, because I hadn't realized how viscous and how thick the gel variant of this contact adhesive would be, I wasn't able to really opt for the brush and roller to apply the adhesive. Using the plastic spatulas actually worked quite well with this type of adhesive, because I could put the adhesive exactly where I wanted it and there was no running or dripping and making a mess. I would assume that going for a sprayable version of the contact adhesive, you'd have to really be careful to not get overspray of the gel all over the windshield and the side quarter panels and engine bay. You'd have to mask everything off. So I think using a gel is less mess, less of a nuisance. However, I found this, how much is it, 400 grams. 400 grams here perhaps was just not enough. I feel the next time if I were to do this again, I'd get 800 grams at least, and that would give me plenty of time to work with this material. The material itself started to set to the open air in about that kind of 10 to 15 minute mark. It wasn't a very warm day today, perhaps it was only 18 to 20 degrees. But yeah, I hope my experiences today helped you all. Perhaps maybe a few things what not to do, but perhaps again another few things that will guide you all. So take your time, remove as much of that old adhesive and the old foam lining, but don't go crazy. You don't want to be scratching the paint under the bonnet. Avoid rusting happening in the future. But without very much time and without too many tools, you can really freshen up the bonnet when you open it up and save your paint from getting damaged from the heat of the engine bay over the years going forward. You wouldn't hate for the exterior paint of the bonnet to start cracking in time. So yeah guys, please let me know your thoughts. I'm always looking to learn myself when it comes to cars. This was my first bonnet lining adhesion. But yeah, looking forward to any thoughts that you guys have in the comments, ways that I could have made things easier for myself in the future. Yeah, excellent. And there we have it guys, looking nice and fresh. Beautiful. As always, before we end videos on this channel, we always flick something for luck. So today, let's go flick our bonnet liner for luck. Beautiful. And hopefully that'll be lucky, staying well, adhered to the bonnet. for many years to come. Thanks guys, look forward to hearing some thoughts, and let me know if this video helped you. Cheers. Drive safe, service your cars regularly, and enjoy. Cheers.